All right, Rona, thank you. We'll be back. Joel in Russia. Good morning, Rona.
Good morning, Jane. By the time Billy Joel completed his 6-concert series in Moscow and Leningrad, he'd played to more than 120,000 people, most of whom opened their arms to rock and roll. But this trip was a long and complicated one for both Billy Joel and his team. We talked with Billy at his hotel overlooking Red Square about what it took to put together one of the most talked about music tours.
Oh, I like Billy Joel. I like song Billy Joel.
He's the greatest singer.
He refuses to crawl. He's always at home with his back to the wall. He's proud of his scars and the battles he lost. He struggles and bleeds as he hangs on his cross. And he likes to be known as the angry young man.
They want to hear a lot more music. They know the Western artists here. They'd like to see them.
This was 2 years in the planning. What did it feel like when you first hit that stage?
I was probably never so more nervous in my whole life. And I kept saying to myself, just do the show. Just do your show. Don't worry about it. Just do your show. You'll be fine. I guess it's an old show business instinct.
You conceived the idea for this trip when you were actually performing in Havana. What was the specific spark?
Well, I played Havana in '79, and with a couple of other artists in the States, and a couple of other people went up on stage before I played, and they would give these speeches before they did the show. Viva this, viva that. They spoke in Spanish, viva la revolution, viva Fidel. And the audience was sitting there, we've heard this stuff, you know? And I went on stage and I said, yo no hablo español, and then I played Big Shot. And the kids rushed the stage, and they brushed right by the security guards. And I thought, well, if I can get that kind of response in Havana, maybe we can get that kind of response in Moscow. Maybe we can make some kind of contact here. I know they like pop music.
How have you actually changed your show for Russia? You've been on the road for nearly a year now.
Now, this was a complete question mark. We didn't know what was going to work, what didn't work. So we tried to pace it musically. It's going to be polite and reserved in the beginning. And after the halfway point in the show, it gets very rock and roll. And at the end of the show, it's like an American concert. So it's great. It's a Russian and an American concert.
You're not the first artist that wanted to come here, but this is the first major rock show. What do you think it was about you that was acceptable, so acceptable?
Well, I said, yeah, I'll come. I think a number of other artists had been discussing it, and other people just said, well, we can't do it. You know, it's very expensive to come over here. The pay we're getting a night is, I think, what, does it cover my bass player? Close.
Give me a sense of how many people you actually had to bring here to make this happen, because I don't think people really know that.
There's 130 people that we brought over. Got hotel rooms for, are trying to feed, take care of, transportation for them, organize them into a show.
One of the things that we've sort of spread in our cruise is the attitude that it's a conservative nation, and to come in with your shirt off and filthy and being rude is not, it's not the way a Billy Joel tour runs anyway, but everyone's taken a little bit special care.
Your negotiations had actually been going on since 1985. Have you gotten the feeling during them that Glasnost was the thing that turned the corner and made the deal?
I think so. I don't see how you could chalk it up to anything else. To allow this to come here, allow this to happen, and all this communication going on, and I'm sure people understand the power of pop music in my country, that it was Glasnost, openness.
Some people say they will never believe another promise they hear in the dark. 'Cause they only remember too well they heard somebody tell them before.
The contract we signed is like 2 pages. You know, in the States when we go and perform, it's about 50 pages, you know, and all the addendums, and we spell out everything that has to be done our way. I said, you know, this is going to be really tough. And it's basically a matter of trust.
You've always said you're non-political, and some people will undoubtedly construe this trip as political. So how would you explain that to them?
Well, of course I'm a political person, but I don't want to get up on a soapbox and preach my politics to people. Just because I'm a musician, that doesn't mean I can tell people how to think or what to do. And in a situation like this, to spout a lot of politics would be counterproductive. They've heard it, we've heard it. What they haven't heard is the music. And what our people haven't seen is their reaction to the music.
Tomorrow, we'll talk with Billy Joel about the controversy surrounding his shows and what the Soviets wanted to know about him. Jane?
Thank you.